I say, yo, I be Hip Gregory, and today I want to speak on this proposed ban of TikTok that recently passed through the House of Representatives by a huge margin, 352 to 65. President Joe Biden, he said he would sign the bill if it got to his desk. All the while, he's currently using the app to campaign for presidency. So there's that. Republican Senator Rand Paul, someone who I disagree with like 99% of the time. Well, I guess this is that 1% where I do agree with him because he opposes the ban. And he was on television, Fox News and Friends, saying some truthful stuff because the reason why they say they want to ban TikTok is because they want to protect people's privacy. They are against the Chinese government getting their hands on American citizens' private data. And who wants that? I don't want that. You want that? Nobody wants that. But realize what they are saying is purely hypothetical. There's no proof or evidence of this ever happening. They're not even saying that this happened. They are saying there is a pathway for this to happen. So what they're proposing or what they want to happen is they want the company that owns TikTok to sell it to a non-Chinese entity. And if this is not done in a certain amount of time, then in another certain amount of time, TikTok will be banned in the United States. And Kilmeade, a member of Fox News and Friends, he was on television saying that ByteDance, the company that owns TikTok, is owned by the Chinese government. And Rand Paul was there to say that this is not true, and it's not. Although ByteDance, they own a sister company, a version of TikTok that's only in China, which a small part of that company is owned by the Chinese government, and there's like one or two Chinese nationalists that sit on the board, and that's why the version of TikTok in China is so much different than the one in the United States. And Rand Paul, he's against it, but he's against it for all the wrong reasons. Why do I say that? Because his biggest financial contributor throughout his political career is a man by the name of Jeffrey Yaz, who just happens to own 15% of ByteDance. And you might say, well, maybe he just happens to agree with the guy that put like $5 billion into his political career over the years. It's okay. Well, how do you explain someone like Donald Trump, who, while as president of the United States, put in an executive order to ban TikTok? It just happened to be struck down by the courts. But today he's against the ban. And guess who is contributing to Donald Trump's campaign today? If you said Jeffrey Yaz, you would be correct. Like a Nicki Minaj song, Yaz, bitch, Yaz. And if you are following the news, you might be aware that Donald Trump, he may be in need of some money, which is a wild situation. This is the could be the next president of the United States. So, what if a foreign government or country or corporation gives Donald Trump money, or whatever corporation gives Donald Trump money? What would he do to pay him back as president of the United States? And I think this pretty much summarized the problem with politics in a nutshell is that these politicians, they don't do the will of the people, their constituents, the voters, the people who put them in office in the first place, the people they're supposed to serve. They doing the will of their campaign donors, the people who line their pockets, which makes them corrupt. And this is something that happens on both sides of the aisle. Remember, 352 to 65, that means Republicans and Democrats, they largely agree on this. And there is a saying that goes, when Democrats and Republicans, when they disagree, that's just Tuesday, a normal day. But when they agree, that's when you should be worried. There is this group called Targeted Victory, which happens to be a right wing group, and they've been fear mongering against TikTok. And because now we started getting, we talked about why they say they want to ban TikTok. Now we starting to get into why I think why they really want to ban TikTok. And this group Targeted Victory, they've been fear mongering against TikTok. Well, it turns out that they have been funded. This campaign is being funded by Meta, which of course owns Instagram and of course owns Facebook, which stands to gain the most of TikTok is banned in the United States, along with I think Google, which owns YouTube. Which, by the way, both Google and Meta definitely has sold people's private information to other companies, because I find it hard to believe color me skeptical that America really cares about people's privacy, especially that when during Trump's administration, Trump signed a bill that made it legal for companies to sell your private data to other companies, which to a third party, which technically means that China could get their hands on your private information even without TikTok. They could just buy it from a company that will sell it to them. And other groups which seem very invested, very interested in banning TikTok. I gotta say, all these Jewish groups, like a member of the Anti Defamation League, who they are saying that TikTok is anti-Semitic, and a member of the Anti Defamation League, there's audio of him saying that um, he's saying we don't have a red or blue problem, Republican and Democrat problem. He's saying we have a young and an old problem. We have a problem with TikTok. And he went on MSNBC saying we have to do something with TikTok, something about TikTok, because they're claiming TikTok is anti Semitic. Because out of all the social media platforms, TikTok is the most outspoken against what is happening in the Gaza Strip right now. The terms that they use is they saying that they are anti what they're saying they're anti-Israel and pro-Palestine. Even though I wouldn't term it like that, I think they are pro-innocent civilian and anti-genocide, anti-ethnic cleansing. And um, the APAC, which is very invested in the banning of TikTok, because this is an issue that was out before and it kind of fell by the wayside, but now it's back again. I think this explains why. APAC which comes APAC, which stands for American Israel Public Affairs Committee, and they are very interested in banning a TikTok, and they have so many politicians in their pocket on both sides of the aisle, including leaders of both sides, including minority House leader with Democrat Hakeem Jeffries, including Speaker of the House Republican Mike Johnson, including majority leader of the Senate Democrat Chuck Schumer, including Minority Leader of the Senate Republican Mitch McConnell. And the reason why is because they want to shut down these voices. They don't like what's being said on TikTok, so they want to ban it. Because TikTok is very youthful and very progressive. And it's very similar to what Russians did when they invaded the Ukraine. They proceeded to immediately ban Instagram because they did not want no anti-war rhetoric reaching the people, and they cannot control what's being said on Instagram. Just like America and Israel cannot control what's being said on TikTok. So now that their plan is to ban it. This is a freedom of speech issue. Where are all the people, the freedom of speech people, the First Amendment people? Where are all of these cancel culture people now when it comes to the banning of TikTok? I don't know what's going to happen. I hope it doesn't get through the Senate. And if it does, maybe it could be struck down by the courts because this got to be against First Amendment rights. So this is why it doesn't have nothing to do with China, in my opinion. The real reason why they want to ban TikTok, and it has everything to do with Israel. What do you say? Please comment, like if you like, subscribe if you vibe. I am Hit Gregory. Peace, one love, out.